Have you ever felt a subtle, nagging sense that your life is not entirely your own, as if an invisible hand is subtly guiding your choices and experiences? What if the frustrations, limitations, and recurring patterns in your life were not just random occurrences, but rather the result of unseen forces that have been shaping reality since the dawn of consciousness? This is not just a question for philosophers or mystics. It's a critical inquiry that directly affects your personal freedom, your happiness, and your ability to fulfill your deepest potential. These forces, which we will explore today, are not merely abstract concepts, but are deeply woven into the fabric of your daily existence, impacting everything from your relationships and career to your health and your overall sense of purpose. These influences, both internal and external, are what the ancient Gnostics called the Archons, not just literal demonic entities, but a powerful metaphor for the forces that control our reality. The Archons, in their truest sense, are the embodiment of limiting beliefs, fear, and control systems that keep humanity trapped in cycles of ignorance and obedience. They are the subtle whispers of self-doubt that undermine your confidence, the fear-based narratives of media that distort your perception, and the oppressive systems that maintain power through manipulation and control. These forces aren't just outside of you. They're also within you, residing in your subconscious mind, in the patterns of thought and emotion that dictate your actions and your reactions. Like peeling an onion, we will explore the many layers of reality to understand this complex system. There's the outer layer of the physical world, the world we see, then comes the layer of belief systems, the world we accept as true. And finally, the deepest layer of spiritual constructs, the ultimate reality behind all that is. Each of these layers has its own rules, implications, and influence on your existence, which we will explore in detail. To fully comprehend the nature of the Archons and their influence on our lives, we must delve into their historical roots, first mentioned in ancient Gnostic texts. The Nag Hammadi Library, a collection of ancient scriptures, details the Archons as flawed creators, entities who believe they are the rulers of the cosmos, but who in reality are a result of distorted perception, leading to a skewed reality. These texts present a radical perspective, depicting our reality as a simulation controlled by these entities, a fabricated world designed to keep us ignorant of our true potential. Understanding these forces is not just an academic pursuit, it is absolutely essential for your liberation. These forces are not just abstract theories, but active components of your daily experience. They are the source of those nagging feelings of limitation, of the anxiety that keeps you up at night, of the frustration that you can't seem to break free from. Consider the pervasive fear of failure, often instilled through social programming, leading to a scarcity mindset that limits prosperity. Or the constant stream of biased information from media outlets that creates social division and mistrust, preventing unity and cooperation. These are examples of the Archons at work, influencing how you think, how you feel, and how you act, ultimately limiting your personal freedom, your happiness, and your ability to experience true spiritual growth. However, this video is not about reinforcing victimhood. It is about empowering you to recognize these dynamics and to take control. The Archons thrive on ignorance and fear, but the simple act of recognizing them as a false power is a key step to dismantling their influence. By exposing the mechanisms of this control, we create pathways for conscious choice, allowing you to reclaim your power and to direct your own path. This video will not only equip you with the knowledge, but also with practical steps and techniques that will allow you to break free from these chains. Control is an illusion, and this illusion is meticulously maintained by the very systems we have come to trust. Consider how modern media, education, and even many spiritual institutions subtly manipulate and control individuals through fear and deception. Think about the messages propagated by media, designed to trigger emotional responses, hindering critical thought and perpetuating cycles of fear and anxiety. Observe how education systems, often presented as a means of empowerment, are actually designed to create obedient workers, stifling creativity and critical thinking. Even the very systems that claim to liberate the soul can often introduce limiting dogmas and practices that prevent true self-realization. The Archons, at their core, are not just demons or external entities. They are specific energy fields that manifest as fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs. These beliefs act as self-fulfilling prophecies, creating the very realities they fear. When you believe you are not enough, you will attract situations that mirror this belief. This is the power of thought and personal responsibility, which we will delve into in this video. These are not just concepts, but tools that can be used to break free from these patterns. We will show you how. This journey will take you through ancient Gnostic wisdom, offering practical methods for transformation and creating your own personal sovereignty. This process will link the ancient perspectives with modern applications, showing the timeless nature of this profound understanding, that the power to change your world lies within you and not with any external power. But what if the reality you perceive is not the only one that exists? What if there are forces shaping your perception, guiding your beliefs, and defining the limits of your experiences without your conscious awareness? What if what you consider real is only one of many possibilities? These are not just idle musings, but critical questions to consider as you navigate this often confusing world. In the coming sections, we will pull back the layers of deception, exposing the intricate dynamics of control systems and revealing the hidden power structure of the Archons. As you come to see these patterns in action, you will also become aware of the potential for personal transformation that lies within you. Just as the Archons operate through patterns, there are also patterns of liberation, of personal power, and of spiritual growth. We will reveal these patterns and how to use them to your own advantage. This understanding will empower you to recognize the interconnectedness of these control systems, revealing a grand design that you are now being invited to dismantle. Be prepared to look at this world with new eyes, to challenge your beliefs, and to begin a journey of self-mastery that will redefine what you perceive as real. Do not miss the next section, where we will begin to explore the specific methods for your own personal transformation. This is where your real journey begins. The Gnostic texts, the very foundation of our understanding of the Archons, do not portray them as supreme deities, but as flawed creators, entities who, in their ignorance, believed they were masters of the cosmos, yet their creation was nothing more than a distortion of the original divine blueprint. The Archons' motivations stem not from pure malevolence, but from a profound lack of understanding, a limited awareness of the true nature of creation. They are, in essence, an extension of the demiurge, that flawed creator god of Gnostic thought, who sought to imitate the divine, but could only produce an imperfect replica. This is essential to understand. They are not evil demons, but beings with limited understanding, creating a system that is inherently flawed and that limits the human experience. Their distorted perception leads them to create systems that are based on control and limitation, not from any sinister desire to cause suffering, but rather from their own fundamental misunderstanding of true creative power. Imagine a child building with blocks, believing that their creation is the totality of all building, never realizing the grand architecture that is possible. These Archons are similarly limited in their scope of vision. This initial understanding, the nature of their creation, connects directly to our control versus freedom pattern. As flawed beings, they create flawed systems, perpetuating limitations rather than nurturing freedom. These entities, driven by their limited perspective, have trapped human consciousness within the material realm, maintaining their control through layers of deception and illusion, leading humanity to believe that this fabricated world is the ultimate reality. This deception is not a blunt force, but rather a carefully constructed web of half-truths and distorted perceptions. The Gnostic texts often speak of a spiritual amnesia, where the soul, upon entering the material world, forgets its true origins and its connection to the divine source. This amnesia is not accidental, it is the result of archontic manipulation, a subtle reprogramming that keeps the soul ignorant of its limitless potential. They seek to keep humanity in a perpetual state of unawareness, preventing individuals from remembering their true spiritual heritage, thus maintaining their power through the manipulation of perception. Think of it as being born into a dream, where the rules of that dream are accepted as absolute reality, preventing you from waking up and understanding that the true reality extends far beyond the limitations of that dream. This idea also expands our understanding of the multiple layers of reality pattern, demonstrating that the Archons' control is limited to the lower layers, the physical and mental planes, remaining oblivious to the higher spiritual dimensions of existence. This is where the true freedom lies, in those realms that are not under their sway. This deepens the mystery of their control and introduces the concept that this control is not absolute, but specific to certain layers of reality. The metaphorical interpretation of the Archons extends far beyond mere external entities. They are equally manifested as internal forces that sabotage individual potential, representing limiting beliefs, deeply rooted fears, and self-defeating thought patterns that reside within the very core of our being. The Archons are not just beings lurking outside of you, they are also the negative voices within, the self-sabotaging thoughts that undermine your confidence, the crippling self-doubt that stops you from taking action, and the patterns of negative self-talk that perpetuate your limitations. It is the inner critic that says, "You are not good enough," or "You are not capable," or "You are not worthy." These are the manifestations of the internal Archons, constantly working to maintain a state of limitation. They are the invisible chains you forge yourself, based on beliefs that have been implanted through social and cultural conditioning. These internal forces then go on to create external realities that mirror the inner state, solidifying the control even further. For example, when you believe you are not worthy of love, you create realities that reinforce that belief, attracting relationships that confirm your lack of self-worth. This is not an accident. It is the direct result of the internal Archons shaping your external world. This establishes the framework for our internal versus external pattern, demonstrating how these negative inner forces have a direct and powerful impact on the reality we experience. The Archons' primary control over humanity is wielded through the prison of the mind, where they manipulate thoughts and emotions to maintain their power. This is not a physical prison with bars and guards, but a psychological prison, where self-imposed limitations keep you trapped in cycles of fear and obedience. They are masters at manipulating human psychology, knowing that negative emotions and limiting beliefs act as self-imposed prisons, restricting freedom and limiting potential. When fear of failure consumes you, it is the Archons at work, preventing you from taking risks or pursuing your passions. When the fear of rejection holds you back, it is a limitation enforced by the internal Archons, preventing genuine connection. These are not just fleeting feelings, they are strategic tools designed to keep you small, predictable, and powerless, always second-guessing yourself and staying within a very confined scope of possibility. It is in the constant questioning of your own abilities, in your endless seeking of external validation, that their control is most powerful. These negative emotional states act as a backdoor, a vulnerability that allows the Archons to maintain their influence over your life. This point escalates the tension by emphasizing the viewer's own personal vulnerability, by demonstrating that their most intimate thoughts and feelings are being manipulated by unseen forces. This solidifies the internal V's external pattern, showcasing how these internal manipulations are projected outward, thereby further controlling one's external reality. It is through this understanding of the Archons' methods that we now transition to examining their modern-day manifestations. Consider how modern systems, such as media, politics, and education, serve as powerful instruments in the hands of the Archons, perpetuating their control by programming individuals with fear-based narratives, biased information, and a constant barrage of limiting beliefs. The modern media, instead of being a source of truth and information, often acts as a propaganda machine, carefully crafting narratives that trigger emotional responses, bypassing rational thought and limiting critical analysis. The focus is not on empowering viewers to think for themselves, but rather to react based on fear and outrage. This keeps you constantly in a state of high alert, never truly allowing you to rest or to think clearly. It is a never-ending cycle of manufactured crises designed to distract you from your true potential. Likewise, our education systems, presented as pathways to knowledge and empowerment, are often nothing more than factories for conformity and obedience, designed to create compliant workers rather than critical thinkers. From an early age, children are taught to follow the rules, respect authority without question, and to memorize facts rather than to explore and innovate. This system stifles creativity, discourages independent thought, and prepares you for a life of compliance rather than a life of authentic expression. These are not accidental flaws. They are intentional designs created to maintain a predictable, easily controlled society. These systems are designed to perpetuate ignorance, keeping people in a state of compliance and limiting their ability to question the status quo. This reinforces the control versus freedom pattern by showing that these systems are designed to limit freedom and not to expand it. The Archons' control extends into the realms of consumerism and materialism, where individuals are lured into a perpetual cycle of desire and debt, constantly chasing after fleeting pleasures that ultimately lead to dissatisfaction and a profound lack of fulfillment. Consider the endless advertising campaigns designed to convince you that you need more, that your worth is defined by the things you own. This is not an accident. It is a strategic manipulation designed to keep you trapped in a cycle of endless consumption. The pursuit of material wealth and status often acts as a distraction, preventing you from pursuing spiritual growth, self-awareness, and genuine happiness. The more you seek external validation through material possessions, the further you stray from your inner self, the core source of authentic fulfillment. You become a slave to your desires, constantly seeking something new, something more, never finding lasting satisfaction. And this dependence is not simply a personal problem, it is a systemic one. It fuels the economy, keeps you working tirelessly, and keeps you distracted from seeing the true mechanisms of control. This cycle of dissatisfaction and dependence is the goal of the Archons, keeping individuals trapped and further limiting their freedom. The focus here is to demonstrate that consumerism is not just an economic phenomenon, but a tool of control used to distract from what truly matters, your personal and spiritual growth. This further emphasizes the control versus freedom pattern, highlighting how these systems are set up to perpetuate control over the individual, and that freedom can be achieved by rejecting this cycle. Even modern technology, which is often presented as a tool of liberation and empowerment, can be used as a means of influence by the Archons, manipulating thoughts and behaviors through sophisticated algorithms, creating echo chambers that limit perspectives, and collecting vast amounts of personal data for manipulation. Social media platforms are designed to reinforce your existing beliefs, feeding you information that confirms what you already think, thus limiting exposure to different viewpoints. This creates echo chambers where you are only exposed to the same ideas over and over again, making it incredibly difficult to challenge your own assumptions or to develop a more complete understanding of reality. The algorithms are not neutral. They are designed to keep you engaged, to keep you scrolling, and to keep you within the platform's ecosystem. Furthermore, the vast amount of data collected through these technologies is then used to monitor, manipulate, and predict individual choices and actions. Every click, every search, every comment is recorded and analyzed, and this data is used to shape your reality even further, creating a feedback loop that amplifies the Archons' control. This is a far more sophisticated system of control than anything previously seen, one that can subtly influence your thoughts and actions without your conscious awareness. The tension increases here, because it introduces the insidious nature of technology as a potential tool for control, demonstrating that even tools meant to empower can be used to limit your freedom, further demonstrating the multiple layers of control we must navigate. The concept of manufactured consent further exposes the subtle ways in which the Archons influence collective thought and action through propaganda and media manipulation, shaping public opinion and controlling societal norms, all while presenting an illusion of freedom. Governments and corporations use propaganda techniques to sway public perception, presenting only one side of the story, carefully crafting narratives that promote specific agendas and control collective behavior. This is not a conspiracy theory, it is a well-documented pattern of manipulation. History is filled with examples of governments using propaganda to incite war, control populations, and suppress dissent. These techniques are not relics of the past, they are still being used today, only with far greater sophistication through modern media. By controlling the information that people receive, they control the very parameters of thought and action. This manufactured consent makes it incredibly difficult for the average person to discern truth from falsehood, making them more susceptible to control, and this subtle manipulation is far more dangerous than any outright force. This reveals the depth of influence the Archons have, operating not only on individual minds, but also on the collective consciousness, showing that these forces influence all of reality. We have now laid the groundwork of understanding the layers of control in place, and now it's time to delve into the pathways for your own liberation. This understanding of the Archons, their origins, their methods, and their modern manifestations now brings us to the pivotal point of personal liberation, and the first step begins with the conscious recognition of your own personal power. The first step to freedom is understanding that you are not powerless, that you are not a victim of these forces, but you are the creator of your own reality, wielding immense power within you, a conscious will that can reshape your world. Your perception and your beliefs shape your reality. What you believe to be true is what you experience, and therefore, by understanding how to manipulate your beliefs, you can manipulate your reality. The limitations are not set in stone. They are a result of ingrained beliefs and self-imposed restrictions. You are not a product of external forces, you are the architect of your own life, and by understanding this, you start to reclaim your sovereignty. This knowledge allows you to make conscious choices that lead to empowerment rather than allowing yourself to be controlled by external forces. This is a shift from victim to creator, emphasizing the pathway to personal sovereignty, and a core tenet of this truth is that your mind is the tool for crafting your future, a future that is based on your choices and not on external pressures. To begin this journey of personal liberation, one must cultivate self-awareness through practices such as meditation, self-reflection, and mindfulness, revealing the subtle patterns of control in your daily existence and creating the space for conscious action. Meditation is not just about relaxing, it's about becoming an observer of your thoughts, emotions, and reactions without judgment. It is a tool to help you understand your mind and break free from its automatic patterns. Self-reflection is the process of examining your life, identifying limiting beliefs, and understanding the patterns that no longer serve your highest good. Mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, recognizing when you are being triggered by external stimuli and choosing your responses rather than reacting automatically. These practices reveal how you are being controlled and offer the space for conscious action, allowing you to make choices that lead to freedom, rather than being driven by unconscious impulses. By becoming aware of your own internal landscape, you can start to see the subtle ways that the Archons are influencing your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, thereby allowing you to make conscious choices rather than acting out of programming. These are practical approaches to beginning to break free, showing that the power lies within you and that the only barrier to freedom is awareness. The power to rewrite your story lies in your capacity to reprogram limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns, and by understanding that the subconscious mind can be rewired to create a more empowering reality, you can truly change your life. The beliefs that you hold are not fixed, they are just programs running in the background, and by understanding how to identify and challenge these beliefs, you can rewrite these programs, thereby changing the outcome. For example, if you have a limiting belief that you are not good enough, you can identify that belief and start replacing it with a more empowering belief, such as, I am worthy. This process is not just about positive thinking, it is about fundamentally rewriting your subconscious mind. Techniques such as affirmations and visualization are powerful tools that can be used to reinforce these new empowering beliefs. By repeating positive affirmations, you start to embed these new beliefs in your subconscious, and by visualizing the life you desire, you create a blueprint for your future reality. This is a step toward empowerment, moving from understanding the control to actively breaking free from it through specific actions and creating a new reality for yourself. And as you start to become more aware of your mind, you will realize that emotional mastery is key to maintaining inner freedom and resisting manipulation, as learning to regulate emotions and manage responses is crucial to preventing emotional hijacking by outside forces. Your emotions are a powerful tool. They can be used to empower you, or they can be used to control you, and learning how to manage them is essential for your journey to freedom. Negative emotions act as a backdoor for the control systems. These are vulnerabilities that can be exploited, and by developing the ability to remain calm and present, regardless of the external stimuli, you take back your power. The external world is designed to trigger an emotional reaction, but it is in the space between stimulus and response that your true power lies. When you are able to observe your emotions without reacting to them, you are no longer a slave to your feelings. You are then able to choose your responses, aligning them with your highest good. This is the path to inner freedom, and when you are able to regulate your emotions, you are also able to take conscious control of your creative powers. This point presents another immediate empowering technique for viewers, linking emotional regulation with the power of conscious creation, and establishing the importance of mastering your internal landscape to create the life you truly want. Now that we've laid the foundation of personal power and internal control, we move to the understanding of how to consciously create desired realities by aligning thoughts, emotions, and actions. And by understanding the laws of cause and effect, you are now the architect of your future. The power of thought is immense. What you believe, you manifest. Your thoughts create your reality. Your emotions are the fuel for your intentions, and your actions are the manifestation of your creative power. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions towards your desired outcomes, you are tapping into your creative potential. Visualization, affirmations, and focused intention are all powerful tools that allow you to direct this energy and to bring your desired reality into existence. This is not simply a theory, it is an understanding of how the universe works, and by understanding these principles, you can create the life that you truly desire. It is by understanding that you are not powerless, you are the conscious creator of your life and reality. This is a demonstration of how true power comes from the conscious alignment of your intention, moving past the limitations of your current situation and into the creative potential that awaits. This understanding of the power of conscious creation then leads to a deeper understanding of the nature of time, and how transcending the linear concept of time allows you to align with your desired outcome, and therefore collapse the time needed for its material manifestation. The time as you know it is simply a construct, a linear progression that exists only in the physical dimension, and by aligning with your desired outcome, you are entering a higher dimension of existence where time is far less relevant. This is a different level of understanding reality, one where intentions create the future. When you truly believe in the outcome and your inner state matches this belief, then external manifestation becomes a natural result of that alignment, and no external action is needed. The world will align itself to your internal frequency. This is the understanding that, as within so without, and that the world you experience is a reflection of your internal state. By shifting that internal state, you shift your reality. By focusing on the desired outcome and by embodying that reality, you naturally move the manifestation towards you. This is a powerful tool to collapse time towards your desired reality. This also acts as a hook for future content, where we can dive into the nature of time and its relationship to manifestation. And finally, understand that this individual transformation is not an isolated event. It is in fact interconnected with the larger cosmic cycles, and that by embracing personal freedom, you are contributing to the collective evolution of consciousness. Your individual journey is not just for yourself. It is a contribution to the collective well-being of humanity. Your individual actions send ripples through the collective, and when you liberate your own mind, you empower others to do the same. The liberation of individual minds is the most powerful tool for the upliftment of the collective, and by freeing yourself, you are freeing all of humanity. It is important to note that your personal journey is not separate from the journey of the collective, and the more individuals awaken, the faster the overall vibration of humanity is raised. This journey is not just about individual gain, it is a way to contribute to the overall evolution of consciousness. There is a larger purpose to the process of self-transformation, a deep interconnection between the individual and the collective. And with these understandings, you now step into a new chapter in your life, where the possibilities are now truly limitless, and you are equipped with the knowledge and the tools to reshape your reality from the inside out, aligning your life with your highest purpose. This is not the end of the journey, it is in fact a new beginning. You have now reached a crucial turning point where the old limitations are dissolving and a new future is within your reach. You have now gained the insight to not only see the patterns of control, but also the techniques to overcome them, and by taking full responsibility for your choices and your actions, you will begin to experience the limitless potential that has always been within you. You are now empowered to rewrite your story, to reshape your world, and to create the life you truly desire. This serves as a transition toward the call to action, empowering the viewer with the knowledge gained in this section, and it creates a powerful sense of forward movement, a feeling that the real journey is only now beginning. The Archons, in their sophisticated orchestration of control, employ a range of psychological manipulation strategies, targeting the very core of the human psyche. Their methods are not overt, but subtly woven into the fabric of daily existence, utilizing fear as a primary tool to limit human potential and maintain their dominion. They cultivate an atmosphere of constant anxiety, a perpetual state of unease that prevents individuals from accessing their inner power, constantly bombarding society with fear-based narratives through media outlets, amplifying potential threats, and creating a sense of helplessness and dependence on external systems for security. The constant fear-mongering is not accidental. It is a calculated strategy to keep the population in a state of heightened stress, where rational thought is replaced by impulsive reactions and the need for immediate solutions. This constant barrage of fear is designed to keep individuals in a state of perpetual reaction, never truly feeling safe or secure, preventing them from questioning the very systems that perpetuate this fear. This external manipulation only gains power when it resonates with the internal vulnerabilities of fear already present within the subconscious, directly connecting to our internal versus external pattern, demonstrating that the external control is only effective when it aligns with the inner programming. This pattern of manipulation is further reinforced through guilt and shame, which act as internal chains, keeping individuals trapped in cycles of self-sabotage, constantly second-guessing themselves and perpetuating negative behaviors, ultimately reinforcing the archontic influence within. The insidious nature of the Archons extends into the manipulation of cognitive biases, where they exploit the inherent flaws in human thinking to distort perception and reinforce limiting beliefs. Confirmation bias, for instance, is used to trap individuals within echo chambers, feeding them information that only confirms what they already believe, preventing exposure to different perspectives and hindering critical analysis. The availability heuristic is manipulated to amplify fear by presenting alarming and sensationalized events, making them appear more common than they actually are, thus creating a sense of panic and helplessness. Anchoring bias is used to limit perception by presenting specific reference points, making it impossible to truly grasp the real scope of an issue, further limiting critical thinking and open-mindedness. These biases are not mere human flaws, they are strategic vulnerabilities intentionally exploited to maintain a narrow understanding of reality, keeping individuals trapped within preset narratives and unable to challenge the status quo. The Archons are not only manipulating emotions. They are manipulating the very way humans think, which makes their control far more subtle and pervasive than previously imagined, which elevates the tension as we now understand how deeply these control structures are embedded. This manipulation of cognitive function further demonstrates how the Archon's control extends to the mental layers of reality, making it harder to discern truth from falsehood and making the need for personal awareness more critical. Their influence on the collective consciousness is equally insidious, as they work tirelessly to create and maintain division, conflict, and competition among individuals and groups, knowing that a divided population is easier to control. They utilize divide and conquer strategies, amplifying differences and creating an us versus them dynamic, which ultimately prevents unity and cooperation. Manipulated narratives are employed to create and exacerbate conflicts between different groups, whether religious, political, or social, creating a constant state of tension and hostility and preventing people from uniting in their shared humanity. These conflicts are not organic. They are carefully constructed distractions designed to divert attention from the real issues at hand, preventing people from recognizing the true source of their limitations. This constant state of division and conflict keeps people focused on fighting each other rather than uniting in their common goal of freedom, reinforcing the control versus freedom pattern, because a population that is divided cannot focus on liberating themselves from these systems of control. This shows a larger perspective of how Archons manipulate entire societies, and not only individual perceptions, which adds another layer to the complexity of their control. This makes the need for critical thinking and personal awareness ever more critical for liberation. The strategies employed by the Archons are not abstract theoretical concepts, but deliberate acts of psychological warfare, designed to control populations and maintain power, and they use information warfare, where the truth is distorted and manipulated, causing confusion, disorientation, and a reliance on the controlling systems. Propaganda is used to manufacture consent, presenting a carefully curated version of reality that aligns with the Archon's agenda, and this constant manipulation of information makes it incredibly difficult to discern fact from fiction, keeping individuals in a state of intellectual dependence, relying on external authorities for truth, which further limits their ability to question the systems that control them. This is not accidental. It is an intentional strategy to keep people compliant, preventing them from questioning the official narrative and maintaining the illusion of control. The constant barrage of disinformation and propaganda creates a state of cognitive dissonance, making it difficult for individuals to think clearly or to make informed decisions, and this manipulation at the mass level escalates the tension by demonstrating the scale and organization of the Archons' influence, exposing that this control is not only internal, but also external and highly organized. This emphasis on psychological warfare underscores the urgency of the need for individual awareness and resistance. The power of the subconscious mind, often overlooked, is the primary operating system of human behavior and reality creation, with most actions and reactions being driven by subconscious programming. The Archons' control, therefore, is mainly focused on this level, knowing that limitations are deeply rooted in the subconscious mind, making it the primary battleground for personal liberation. The subconscious is a vast reservoir of beliefs, patterns, and memories that influence perception and behavior, acting as the foundation of the self-imposed prison. These subconscious patterns create a filter that shapes your understanding of reality, causing you to perceive what aligns with your deeply held beliefs. For example, if you subconsciously believe you are not good enough, that belief will create a reality that constantly confirms that negative assessment of yourself. This reinforces the Archons' control by perpetuating cycles of limitations based on false beliefs. The key to liberation, therefore, lies in understanding the mechanisms of subconscious programming and taking control of this internal landscape, and this aligns with the internal V's external pattern, as this demonstrates that changing these internal patterns is the key to changing external realities, further emphasizing personal responsibility. This establishes the importance of understanding that the limitations come from within, and that the liberation from those limitations is within your reach. These limiting beliefs are often ingrained in the subconscious mind through early conditioning, trauma, and repetitive exposure to negative information, as childhood experiences can create negative beliefs about worthiness, ability, and self-esteem, which in turn shape an individual's adult life. For example, if you were constantly criticized as a child, you may develop a subconscious belief that you are not good enough, and this belief will continue to shape your actions and interactions, even in adulthood. Trauma, on the other hand, can create deeply ingrained patterns of fear, anxiety, and avoidance, limiting your ability to take risks or pursue your desires. And when these experiences are further reinforced by patterns of negative self-talk, creating self-fulfilling prophecies that keep these limitations firmly in place. This constant negative internal dialogue serves as the self-imposed prison that reflects the external control of the Archons, showing how deeply this programming runs. This process goes further in unveiling the mechanics of internal control, emphasizing the importance of awareness regarding the origins of these limiting beliefs, and demonstrating that these internal prisons are not unbreakable, but can be dismantled by understanding the process of their creation. The pathway to freedom starts with practical techniques for identifying and reprogramming these deeply embedded limiting beliefs and taking conscious control of the subconscious mind. Methods such as affirmations, visualization, and subconscious reprogramming techniques are powerful tools that can create a new reality. Affirmations, when used consistently, can help to replace negative self-talk with more empowering beliefs, as regularly repeating positive statements helps to shift the programming at the subconscious level. Visualization, on the other hand, involves creating vivid mental images of your desired outcomes, reinforcing the feeling that what you desire is already real, bypassing the logical mind and imprinting new realities at a deeper level, which then translates into the physical world. Subconscious reprogramming techniques, such as hypnosis or guided meditation, allow you to access deeper levels of consciousness, targeting the root of the negative programming and creating lasting change. It is through actively challenging these limiting beliefs that you take back control of your inner world, and this is a direct link to the control versus freedom pattern showing that taking control of your subconscious mind directly translates to taking back your individual freedom. This moves the discussion into practical actions, further reinforcing that freedom is not just a concept, but a process that involves focused intention and consistent action. Emotional mastery plays a crucial role in the process of belief reprogramming, as emotions act as the fuel for the subconscious, and mastering emotions helps to dissolve negative patterns and beliefs, thereby increasing personal power. The subconscious mind responds directly to the emotional energy you create. Therefore, by managing and regulating your emotions, you create a pathway for positive beliefs to take root, and through emotional regulation, the negative self-talk is disempowered. When you release suppressed emotions, you create powerful shifts in your beliefs, and therefore in the world around you. The practice of self-compassion and self-forgiveness is crucial in this process, as it allows you to let go of past hurts and limiting stories, and it further reinforces positive self-talk by creating a space where self-acceptance is now possible. Therefore, by integrating emotional regulation techniques with belief reprogramming techniques, the individual becomes a powerful force for change and is less susceptible to the external manipulations designed to trigger negative emotional states. This moves the narrative forward by presenting emotional regulation as a vital tool not only for liberation, but for creating lasting change in beliefs and emphasizing the interconnectedness between beliefs and emotional state. The connection between emotions and the Archons' control is undeniable, as they strategically use emotional triggers to manipulate individuals and maintain their power. By understanding the root causes of these triggers, you disempower them, thereby removing the Archons' ability to influence your reactions. They use fear, anger, and other negative emotions as powerful tools to hijack rational thought, preventing you from acting in your own best interest. The cycle begins with an external trigger, an event, a word, an image, designed to elicit an emotional response, which, when left unchecked, can lead to a chain reaction of negative thoughts and actions. By understanding these triggers and the patterns of emotional hijacking, you are better equipped to take conscious control of your responses. When you understand that your emotional responses are often pre-programmed reactions, you create a space between the stimulus and the response, allowing for conscious choice. This ability to choose your actions rather than reacting impulsively is the first step to breaking free from the Archons' control, further expanding on the control versus freedom pattern. These manipulations become powerless when you become aware of their mechanisms, and this understanding is therefore a critical step in taking back your own power. Techniques for emotional self-regulation, including mindfulness, deep breathing, and somatic practices, allow you to create a space between a stimulus and your response, allowing you to choose your actions consciously and therefore short-circuit the Archons' attempts to manipulate you. Mindfulness helps you to become aware of your emotions in the present moment without judgment, allowing you to observe your feelings without reacting to them. Deep breathing techniques can calm the nervous system, shifting your body from a state of stress to a state of relaxation, giving you a better ability to respond more consciously. Somatic practices, on the other hand, help you to connect with the physical sensations of your body, creating an awareness of the subtle physical changes that accompany your emotional states, thus giving you an early warning system that helps to identify and manage your emotional triggers. These are actionable steps that viewers can take immediately, demonstrating that the power to shift emotional reactions is within their reach and not outside their control. Through these techniques, it is possible to become more aware of emotional patterns and choose more empowering responses, thereby taking back control from external forces. The concept of emotional transmutation is a powerful tool to transform negative emotions into constructive energy, where emotions are not static but can be shifted and directed according to conscious will. Anger, for instance, can be transmuted into assertiveness, providing the energy needed to set boundaries and to take action in alignment with your values. Fear can be transmuted into courage, empowering you to face challenges and move past limitations. Sadness, when understood, can be transmuted into compassion, offering greater empathy for your own suffering and the suffering of others. These transformations are not new emotions, they are the same energy being redirected, a shifting of frequencies through understanding. This is not about suppressing your emotions, it's about understanding their purpose and using the energy they provide in a positive manner, shifting from the victim state to the state of the conscious creator. This moves beyond the management of emotions into active transformation, where emotional energy is harnessed for personal growth, and further empowers the viewer with understanding that emotions are not an obstacle, but rather a source of personal power that can be directed at will. Emotional freedom, therefore, is a key component in the journey of self-mastery, and understanding that the goal is not to suppress emotions, but to understand their purpose. True emotional mastery comes from understanding the messages behind the emotions, allowing them to become valuable tools for self-discovery and growth. Every emotion has a message, a lesson to be learned, and by understanding those messages, you create new clarity and control. Fear can be a message that you are entering uncharted territory. Anger could be a message that your boundaries are being violated, and sadness could be a call to slow down and reflect. Understanding these messages gives you the power to respond more consciously, and this freedom is not only about individual well-being, it is a necessary step in resisting external manipulation, thereby cementing the internal vs external pattern. This solidifies the idea that inner control creates outer freedom, and that by understanding the purpose of emotions, you gain the ability to create the life you truly desire. Meditation, a powerful tool to connect with higher levels of consciousness beyond the material realm, is another method to short-circuit the Archons' control by quieting the mind, allowing the deeper layers of your being to be revealed. Through meditation, you disconnect from the constant mental chatter and the programmed responses to external stimuli, which the Archons use to maintain their power over your perception. This allows you to access the deeper layers of your being, the parts of yourself that are not limited by the Archons' control. By quieting the mind, the mental constructs created by the Archons begin to dissolve, and you start to access a more authentic understanding of reality. And this aligns perfectly with the layers of reality pattern, because the higher spiritual layers are not influenced by archontic control. This is a practical technique for navigating beyond the limitations of the lower layers of reality and allows you to move beyond the Archon's influence, accessing a deeper connection with the source of your true power. Meditation is not only a tool for quieting the mind, but also a pathway to access deeper insights, intuition, and inner wisdom, guiding you to understand the underlying truth about the Archons and their mechanisms of control. Through meditation, you gain a clarity of mind and a connection to higher wisdom, which becomes a way to access the spiritual layers of reality and to navigate beyond the limitations of the physical and mental realms of archontic influence. This higher perspective offers greater clarity about personal purpose and direction, helping you to make choices that are aligned with your true self and to navigate the external world with wisdom and understanding. By connecting with your inner wisdom, you begin to see beyond the veil of illusion and perceive the true mechanisms of control, thereby empowering yourself to take more effective action. This expands the understanding of the power of meditation, revealing it is not simply about relaxation, but also a powerful tool for accessing truth, moving beyond the limitations imposed by the Archons. Incorporating meditation into daily life does not require extensive time commitments or specific locations, as it is the consistency of practice that yields the most profound results. Simple techniques such as focusing on the breath can be easily integrated into your daily routine, offering a consistent anchor for the awareness of the present moment, while guided visualization is another effective tool that can help you to reprogram your subconscious and create a clearer intention of your desired future. Begin by dedicating a few minutes each day to practice and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable, and do not worry about doing it perfectly. The consistency of the practice is far more valuable than perfect execution. The focus is not on mastering the practice, but rather on cultivating a connection to the present moment and to the still point within, and the emphasis on consistent practice makes the idea of meditation more accessible, empowering the viewers to begin right now, rather than waiting for the perfect moment. Meditation is a powerful practice that creates a space of stillness, allowing the dissolution of fear, doubt, and other Archon-created limitations, because within this stillness, you can access a deep sense of peace and inner harmony that is not dependent on external circumstances. The stillness you find in meditation is a state of liberation, where the Archons' control over the mind begins to dissipate, and this inner peace is a form of freedom that cannot be taken away, even with the most sophisticated external systems of control, and this idea connects directly to the internal V's external pattern. Because this inner peace is a form of freedom that is independent of external forces. This demonstrates how true freedom is not found in external circumstances, but through inner awareness, and this ties the practice of meditation to the core theme of inner sovereignty and personal freedom, solidifying that the path to liberation lies within, rather than in the external world. This is a powerful demonstration of inner freedom, which is impervious to outside influences. The journey of individual transformation is not an isolated event. It is part of a larger cosmic cycle and divine intention, and your personal liberation is a necessary component of the overall evolution of the whole, because your individual journey is a micro-reflection of the macro-universe. Your personal choices have a ripple effect in the universe, and they contribute to the collective evolution of the whole, and therefore, by freeing yourself, you contribute to the overall evolution of humanity. This shifts the perspective from the individual to the collective, highlighting the importance of your personal journey within the overall context of the cosmic narrative, and it further develops the internal V's external pattern by showing the interconnectedness between these two realms. Every act of personal liberation sends ripples through the collective consciousness, empowering others to embark on their own journey of transformation, and it is a demonstration of the universal interconnectedness of all things. Ancient alchemic principles serve as powerful metaphors for personal transformation and the transmutation of negative energies, as the alchemical process of turning lead into gold is a representation of the individual's journey of transforming negative patterns and beliefs into higher, more empowered states of being. The alchemists were not simply trying to turn base metals into gold. They were using physical processes to describe the inner process of personal transformation. The Negrito stage, for instance, represents the initial encounter with the darkness of the subconscious, where negative emotions and beliefs are brought to the surface to be examined, and the albedo stage represents the purification process, where limiting beliefs and patterns are transformed and replaced with more positive ones. The rubedo stage signifies the final stage of integration, where the individual has achieved a state of wholeness and balance. These alchemic principles provide a valuable framework for understanding the process of personal transformation and a concrete connection between ancient wisdom and personal development, reinforcing that spiritual transformation is an active process that requires effort, intention, and a deep understanding of the internal mechanics of change. Personal transformation is inextricably linked to spiritual awakening, and this process ultimately leads to a deeper understanding of one's true nature and purpose, because by aligning with higher principles, you can access a greater sense of meaning and fulfillment. This awakening is not simply a personal event. It is a fundamental shift in consciousness, which helps you realize that you are not simply a physical being, but also a spiritual being with infinite potential. The path of enlightenment is not something that is exclusive to a select few, but a path that is accessible to all individuals who are willing to embark on their own unique journey of self-discovery. As you awaken to your true nature, you will find a greater sense of meaning and fulfillment in your life, and this higher purpose will give you the strength to overcome any challenges you might encounter. This adds a deeper layer of meaning, connecting the individual transformation to a larger spiritual purpose and demonstrating the power of self-discovery and spiritual awakening as core elements of personal freedom. Service to others is also a vital component in the journey of self-mastery, because true freedom is not only about individual liberation, but also about contributing to the betterment of the collective and recognizing that true power comes not from domination, but from service. Helping others can be a powerful way to transcend limitations and align with cosmic intentions, because it shifts the focus away from the self and towards a larger purpose, demonstrating that helping others is a way to empower yourself, and that the more you help others, the more you yourself are elevated. Through service, you realize that you are not separate, but part of a larger connected whole, where all actions have an impact on the collective. Therefore, the path to true freedom comes from understanding that service is not simply about giving, but also about receiving, and that it is an integral component in aligning with your highest purpose. This creates a larger context for personal journeys, emphasizing that transformation is connected to collective evolution, which is a major shift in perspective and a powerful call to conscious action. Finally, transcending time is a crucial step in aligning with desired realities, and by understanding that time, as you know it is a construct of the Archons, you can begin to break free from its limitations. By focusing on the present moment, you can collapse the linear concept of time and start to create your own timeline. The Archons use time as a tool to keep you in a state of constant waiting, constantly looking to the future or dwelling on the past. When you transcend this linear concept of time, you begin to access the timeless now, and when you align with your desired future in the present, the linear concept of time collapses. This introduces a new level of understanding of the Archons' control, showing how they use time as a barrier, and it introduces a new pathway to personal empowerment by demonstrating that you are not bound by a preset timeline, but that your future is something that is created now. Aligning with the frequency of your desired reality is the mechanism to collapsing time, as reality creation is based on vibrational alignment, not external action. This shows you how your internal state is the most powerful tool to create the life you desire. By focusing on the feeling of the desired outcome, you shift your vibrational frequency and begin to draw your desired future into the present moment. And when you understand that manifestation is based on vibrational resonance and not luck or fate, you take control of the creative process and create a more desirable outcome. This is not about forcing the universe to do your bidding. It is about aligning yourself with the natural laws of manifestation. You have the power to create the reality you want by aligning your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the desired outcomes using the power of the present moment. This reinforces the importance of internal shifts and solidifies the concept that the future is not fixed, but created in each present moment. The understanding of multiple timelines now allows you to choose the reality you wish to inhabit, as focusing on a desired outcome shifts you from one timeline to another. When you are focused on a negative outcome, you are in fact selecting the timeline where that outcome is a reality. But when you focus on the positive, you select the timeline where that positive outcome is already a reality. It is all about choices, and each thought and emotion is choosing a different timeline. This shift happens in the present, not in the future, and this ability to choose your reality is a demonstration of the vast potential you carry, and is also a responsibility, as it emphasizes that your future is the result of your choices. This expands the viewer's awareness of personal power, as they are not a victim of external forces, but the creators of their own destiny, with the ability to shift, at will, into a more desirable future. With the understanding of these principles, you are equipped to step out of the Archons matrix and enter a new level of freedom. This liberation is not some future state. It is a present possibility that you can activate right now. The tools to change this reality have always been available to you, and by understanding your true nature, you begin to experience a level of freedom previously unimaginable. The knowledge and power is within your immediate reach, and that the power to transform is now in your hands. This is a powerful transition toward a call to action, empowering the viewer with the message that the liberation from the Archons matrix is not only a possibility, but a responsibility. Have you ever considered that the very technologies designed to connect us might also be the most sophisticated tools of control ever created? The Archons, in their pursuit of absolute dominion, have extended their reach into the digital realm, manipulating not only our perceptions, but the very fabric of our reality through the insidious power of technological control. Modern technologies, especially AI and social media platforms, are not just neutral tools. They are complex systems of manipulation designed to shape our perceptions, reinforce our biases, and control our emotional responses with surgical precision. Algorithms are crafted to create echo chambers, where we are only presented with information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs, limiting exposure to diverse viewpoints and hindering critical analysis. This intentional curation of information creates a digital prison, trapping individuals within a narrow spectrum of reality and limiting their ability to understand the world through a more objective lens. The data collected through these platforms is not just used for advertising purposes. It is also used to predict and manipulate behavior, creating a feedback loop that further reinforces control mechanisms. These systems are not just reactive, they are predictive, anticipating your next move, your next desire, and your next thought, which allows for an unprecedented level of manipulation by the Archons, further escalating the tension of their reach. This subtle yet pervasive control over digital information demonstrates that the Archons are not limited to the physical or mental layers of reality. Their influence extends into the digital, making it difficult to discern fact from fiction and blurring the lines between what is real and what is not. Virtual and augmented reality technologies are the next frontier in archontic control, creating simulated environments that disconnect individuals from the authentic world and further diminish their capacity for independent thought. These simulated realities are designed to be indistinguishable from physical reality, offering an immersive experience that can easily replace real-life interactions. As these virtual worlds become increasingly sophisticated, the line between the digital and the physical becomes ever more blurred, further entrapping individuals in another layer of control. The focus of this technology is not on promoting individual growth or expanding awareness, but rather on creating controlled environments where human behavior can be predicted and managed with maximum efficiency. For example, virtual social environments create a perfect space for social engineering through manipulating perception and reinforcing behaviors, while augmented reality overlays digital information onto the real world to shape your perception of your physical surroundings. These tools, if not approached with critical awareness, can easily become the Archons' most powerful weapons to control perception, trapping individuals in layers of digital manipulation. This control extends beyond just information, but into the control of your very sensory experience, highlighting that archontic power is reaching into all levels of human experience, further escalating the tension and creating a sense of unease at the scale of their control. This also shows how external technology is being used to manipulate internal perception, reinforcing the internal versus external pattern. Surveillance technologies are the ever-watchful eyes of the Archons, monitoring behavior and enforcing conformity in ways that are often invisible to the average individual. The data collected from our daily digital interactions is used to create detailed profiles of our habits, preferences, and beliefs, which are then used to predict, control, and shape individual choices. This goes beyond simple data collection. It's about creating a sense of constant observation, where every action is scrutinized and every thought is potentially monitored. This creates a subtle yet powerful pressure to conform, knowing that your behavior is constantly under the gaze of unseen forces, limiting freedom of expression and stifling the free exploration of diverse perspectives. Surveillance is not limited to government agencies or large corporations. It also exists within social media platforms, where every post, like, and share is used to further refine your profile and to create even more targeted manipulation. And this constant monitoring is further amplified with the use of smart devices in our homes that are constantly listening and learning about the patterns of behavior. This creates a sensation of always being watched, limiting self-expression and free thought, highlighting a pervasive form of control that is as insidious as it is effective. The Archons have created a system where even in the apparent privacy of your own space, you are always under their watchful gaze. The sense of being constantly watched further reinforces the control mechanism by removing a sense of personal autonomy and creating dependence on these controlling systems. These technological tools exploit inherent human vulnerabilities, triggering fear, anxiety, and insecurity to keep people in a state of dependence and compliance, as the algorithms amplify negativity and sensationalism, which keep the collective in a state of perpetual stress. These systems are designed to be addictive, constantly bombarding you with notifications, likes, and other forms of validation, creating a feedback loop that is difficult to resist. The Archons use social comparison to create a sense of inadequacy, causing you to constantly compare yourself to others, further exacerbating your feelings of insecurity and creating a constant need for external validation. The carefully curated and often unrealistic images of success and happiness lead to a perpetual state of dissatisfaction, keeping the population focused on what they lack rather than on what they already possess. This constant bombardment of negative information is designed to keep the individual in a state of reactivity, limiting awareness and the ability to question the very systems that perpetuate these feelings, reinforcing the control versus freedom pattern, where the Archons seek control while limiting the free expression of human potential. This intricate web of manipulation demonstrates that these technological advancements are not just accidental byproducts of progress, but carefully engineered tools of control designed to keep humanity enslaved, and this emphasizes the need to reclaim your attention and your internal emotional state. However, the power to shift your reality resides within, through the activation of consciousness and the intentional manipulation of personal frequency. Focused intention is a powerful tool to shift your frequency and alter reality, because your attention and intention are the very forces that shape your experience. When you combine focused intention with emotional mastery, you become the conscious creator of your reality. The universe responds to the energy you project. Therefore, by aligning your thoughts, emotions, and intentions, you begin to manifest your desired outcomes with greater precision. This idea of manifestation is not about simple, wishful thinking. It's about aligning with the desired state, which requires clear intention, focused attention, and emotional regulation. By understanding the mechanics of intention, you begin to see yourself as an active participant in the creation of your reality, not as a victim of circumstance, thus reinforcing the idea of personal responsibility. This understanding reveals the first steps to liberation from the external controls, emphasizing that the power of creation is within and not outside the individual. Specific frequencies can be used to alter brainwave states, which can then be used to expand awareness and align with higher levels of consciousness. Your brainwaves are directly related to your mental state. Therefore, by using frequencies such as binaural beats and isochronic tones, you can induce states of deep relaxation, expanded awareness, and heightened creativity. These frequencies work by entraining the brain to a specific rhythm, which allows you to move beyond the limitations of your everyday conscious awareness. For example, by listening to theta frequencies, you can induce a meditative state, which will allow for the accessing of subconscious beliefs, while gamma frequencies help to promote insight and higher levels of awareness. These are not just passive experiences. They are active tools for shifting brain states from limitation into freedom, and for creating new neural pathways that reinforce more positive and empowering states. The understanding of the power of frequency creates practical methods for directly affecting the internal experience, further breaking free of the Archons' control, which emphasizes how these tools provide a path to self-mastery, making the power of frequency available to anyone with the understanding to implement these techniques. Energy work and specific movement practices further contribute to raising personal vibration and accessing higher states of consciousness. Practices such as Tai Chi, Qigong, and Yoga are not just physical exercises. They are powerful techniques for releasing energetic blockages and increasing the flow of life force throughout the body. Each movement is designed to activate the body's energy centers, allowing for a greater flow of prana, which results in a heightened state of awareness. For instance, Tai Chi movements are designed to harmonize your internal energy with the external environment, allowing for a greater sense of balance and flow, while yoga integrates movement, breath, and awareness to enhance your connection with the subtle energy systems of your body. These practices are not just ways to improve physical health. They are active methods to clear energetic pathways and increase vibrational frequency. When you work directly with your body, you are also working directly with your mind and spirit, and this interplay creates shifts in states of awareness, directly impacting your reality. This demonstrates that the path to freedom involves the conscious engagement with the body, mind, and spirit, creating a more powerful method for shifting external realities. These practices of focused intention, frequency shifting, and energy work directly connect to the concept of personal sovereignty, where the individual is the master of their own energetic field and is not dependent on external forces for their well-being. These are not tools that are meant to be accessed through external sources, but methods to activate your own innate and dormant powers, demonstrating that the ultimate power has always resided within you. When you are in control of your energy, you are in control of your life and your experiences. By understanding these principles, you take responsibility for your state of being, and you move away from the role of victim into the role of the conscious creator. This is the first step towards taking back control and truly becoming the sovereign ruler of your own destiny. These techniques are a clear pathway to self-mastery, and through this self-mastery, you become impervious to the Archons' control, thus creating true freedom. The understanding of the law of attraction, when aligned with higher intentions, can be used as a powerful tool for conscious creation. This is not simply about wishing for something, but about actively aligning with the frequency of your desired outcome. You must embody the feeling of the desired future in the present moment, reinforcing it through practices such as vision boards and visualization exercises. When you visualize your desired reality, you are effectively creating a blueprint for its manifestation, imprinting the image and the feeling into your subconscious mind. These tools help the subconscious mind to accept that your goal is not simply a possibility, but it is already a reality. This is not a passive process. It requires focused intention, emotional alignment, and consistent action toward a consciously chosen vision. This demonstrates that the key to manifestation is not external action, but an internal alignment of thoughts, emotions, and actions, emphasizing the need for personal responsibility. The power to manifest is not something that is outside of you. It is a natural extension of your consciousness and your awareness of your own creative power. Focused intention can create a specific future reality by shifting one's energy and aligning with a different timeline. Time as you perceive it is not a linear progression of events, but a multidimensional construct where all moments exist simultaneously. By focusing on a desired outcome in the present moment, you are not waiting for the future to arrive. You are actively choosing the timeline where that outcome is already a reality. This shift is not a gradual progression. It's a quantum jump from one reality to another, a collapsing of possibilities through intentional choice. By directing your focus, you change your vibration and access the timeline that matches that vibration. It's not about waiting for the future, but about creating your future now. The present moment is where your choices create a new future reality, and by understanding this, you begin to step outside of the linear time construct imposed by the Archons. This expands your understanding of the nature of reality and how to change it, revealing the powerful implications of choosing to be present. Transcending the linear concept of time allows you to collapse the time needed for a desired manifestation, because the present moment is the only moment where creation takes place. The linear view of time is a construct designed by the Archons to create limitations and keep you trapped in a state of constant waiting. When you step outside of linear time and into the timeless now, you access the power to create your reality instantly. This understanding does not mean ignoring the future, but rather understanding that the future is not something you are waiting to reach, but it is something that you are actively creating now. By aligning your internal state with your desired external goal, you collapse the time needed for that manifestation to occur, as the future is created in the present. Therefore, focusing on your goal in the present is the most effective way to shape your future and move from a limited perception of time into the infinite possibilities of the present moment. This further escalates the tension as we understand how limiting the concept of linear time really is, and how to step outside of that to achieve freedom. This understanding of manifestation and the ability to transcend time is a direct challenge to the Archons' control, because it empowers each individual to become the master of their own reality. By actively creating your life, you step outside of the matrix and become impervious to the systems of control. When you realize that your power to create is not something that is granted to you, but is something that you already possess, you are no longer bound by preset limitations and controlling forces. The Archon's control depends on your belief that you are powerless, but this understanding allows you to reclaim your power and to create your life based on your intentions and values and not based on their limitations. Manifestation and time transcendence are not simply concepts, they are the keys to freedom. This shows that the power to create is always within, and that liberation is an active process of choosing and aligning with your desired outcome, and that the way to achieve liberation is now in your grasp. Synthesizing all of these concepts, we find that understanding Archontic tactics, activating your consciousness, and using focused intention is not only a possibility, but a direct path to freedom, as each component of the journey strengthens the other. Your personal liberation is not something that will magically occur on its own, but something that is the direct result of your focused action and intention. The individual is the key to change and not an external force, demonstrating the power to create a new reality resides within each one of us. The Archon's system of control depends on you believing that you are powerless, but with this knowledge, you recognize that you are the master of your own reality. Therefore, the main patterns of control versus freedom and internal vs external are now clearly visible, as you see the internal tools that are needed to create outer freedom. The power to choose a life of freedom and empowerment has always been within, and now that you know, it is time to embrace it. Awareness is the very foundation of transformation, as only through awareness can you begin to make conscious choices, and when you begin to see the patterns of control for what they are, you begin to unlock the possibility to break free from their influence. This awareness creates a space for you to consciously choose a more desirable reality and empowers you to take control of your actions. By becoming aware of your limiting beliefs, emotional triggers, and the Archons' manipulative techniques, you are now in a position to make informed choices that are based on your values and not on their limitations. This is an active process, not a passive acceptance, and this demonstrates that true freedom comes from the ability to make conscious choices based on inner wisdom, instead of unconscious reactions based on external manipulations. The power of awareness changes everything because it illuminates the pathway to freedom and makes it immediately accessible. Personal responsibility is also the key to creating a life of freedom, because blame and victimhood are the very concepts that reinforce the Archon's power. As long as you believe that you are a victim of external circumstances, you remain powerless. When you understand that the power is not in your external actions, but in your internal transformations, you move away from the role of victim to the role of the conscious creator. Your choices in the present moment are what shape your future, and by taking full responsibility for your internal state and your actions, you begin to manifest a reality that is aligned with your intentions and your personal values. This is not about blaming yourself. It's about taking control of your life and creating a pathway to empowerment. This shows the need to shift away from the victim mentality into the active role of the creator, reinforcing personal responsibility. By combining the understanding of archontic manipulation with active techniques for consciousness activation and with the clear methods of manifestation, you are now equipped to become the master of your own reality. This is not just a theory. It's a framework for action that you can immediately implement. You now hold the key to achieve personal sovereignty and create a life that aligns with your deepest desires and your truest potential, and the path to freedom has always been within, and now you have the tools and the understanding to create a life of freedom. The power to transform your reality is not something that is outside of you. It is a natural extension of your own innate potential, and by understanding how to harness this power, you can now step out of the Archon's matrix and into a new reality. This powerful concluding statement emphasizes that the pathway to freedom has been clearly presented and that the next step is yours. The Archon's influence is not merely a technological or a political construct. It extends to the metaphysical layers of reality, where they manipulate the very fabric of existence according to their own flawed understanding of cosmic principles. The ancient Hermetic tradition provides a framework for understanding how the Archons operate, and how we, by understanding the same principles, can regain control of our personal reality. The core principle of as above, so below, as within, so without, highlights the interconnectedness of all levels of reality. This principle reveals that the lower realms of existence are reflections of the higher ones, including the Archon's distorted creation. Their control structure is not arbitrary. It is based on a flawed mirroring of cosmic law, where the limitations and distortions that they impose on the higher planes of existence are then reflected in the lower ones. This understanding is the first step in recognizing the Archon's patterns, both in the external world and within your own internal landscape of thoughts and emotions. Each limiting belief you hold is a manifestation of the Archon's influence, and by becoming aware of these patterns, you begin to break free from their grasp and reclaim your personal sovereignty. This interconnectedness of all things is not just an abstract philosophical concept. It is the foundation of the Archon's matrix, and it is also the foundation for your liberation, highlighting the importance of understanding the principles that govern all realms of existence. The law of correspondence explains how the Archons use symbolic manipulation to create and maintain the reality that most people perceive as normal. Symbols are not neutral. They are potent carriers of energy and meaning that shape our subconscious beliefs and behaviors. The Archons use these symbolic representations to communicate subconscious messages and to reinforce limiting narratives through various forms of media, political rhetoric, and religious indoctrination. For instance, the use of specific colors in advertising can unconsciously trigger an emotional response, leading to compulsive buying patterns. Or the use of certain political symbols can create a sense of false loyalty, leading to blind obedience and the abandonment of critical thinking. Similarly, religious symbolism, often based on ancient archetypes, can reinforce the idea of a power structure in the unseen realm, leading to fear and dependence on external authority. By understanding the symbolic language used by the Archons, you can begin to decode the hidden messages and to recognize the patterns of control that are perpetuated through these systems. And by understanding the meaning behind these symbols, you can begin to dismantle the control that they impose on your reality. The law of correspondence dictates that internal states are mirrored in the external world, so these symbols not only affect your perception of reality, but also create self-fulfilling prophecies that keep you trapped within the Archon's matrix. The manipulation of the mental plane is crucial for maintaining the Archon's control, because your thoughts are the primary creative force in your reality. The Archons know that by controlling your thoughts, they can control your emotions and ultimately your external reality. They do this by using various methods, such as fear-based news cycles that create anxiety, and by injecting doubt and insecurity through constant social comparisons. The media has become a master at triggering emotional responses that hinder critical thinking, and by keeping your mind in a state of constant reactivity, your power to consciously create a desired reality is diminished. The Archons rely on your unawareness of this process, knowing that as long as your mental space is cluttered with negativity, you will remain within their sphere of influence. However, by understanding this dynamic, you are no longer a victim to external manipulation. By mastering your mental state through practices such as meditation and focused intention, you regain your power to choose your thoughts and to manifest a reality aligned with your true desires. The Archon's control is maintained only through your unconscious participation in this process. By breaking the pattern of unconscious reactions, you step outside of the mental matrix they have created. The Kybalion, a text that outlines 7 Hermetic principles, emphasizes the principle of cause and effect. This principle reveals that every action has a corresponding reaction, and this understanding is key to understanding your responsibility as a creator. The Archons, with their flawed creation, believe that they are the cause and that the rest of creation is merely an effect. This is a distortion of the law of cause and effect and creates the flawed reality that most people experience. However, when you understand that your thoughts, emotions, and actions are also causes, you realize that you are the creator of your own reality, and you are not merely an effect of external forces. For example, self-sabotaging behaviors, like procrastination or negative self-talk, are a consequence of limiting beliefs that you hold about yourself. Therefore, by dissolving these limiting beliefs through conscious intention, you alter the effect and begin to manifest more positive outcomes, demonstrating that by taking responsibility for your thoughts and actions, you break free from the self-imposed limitations that the Archons have implanted in your subconscious. The Archon's control depends on your belief that you are powerless, but the understanding of the cause and effect principle shows that you are the master of your own creation, not merely a victim of external circumstances. Now, let us explore the practical methods to break free from the Archon's influence and reclaim your personal power. Identifying and dissolving limiting beliefs is the first step towards reshaping your reality. This is not achieved through wishful thinking. It's a deliberate and systematic process of reprogramming your subconscious mind by using practical techniques such as journaling, questioning assumptions, and using affirmations. Journaling allows you to bring unconscious beliefs to the surface of your awareness, creating a space for you to consciously analyze and understand their impact on your life. When you question the assumptions behind these beliefs, you begin to understand that most of them are not based on your own experience, but on the limitations imposed by the Archons through cultural conditioning. Affirmations are a powerful tool for planting new empowering beliefs in your subconscious by creating a new narrative that resonates with your highest potential, not with your past limitations. These techniques are not simply intellectual exercises, they are powerful tools for shifting the different layers of your being. Mental, emotional, and physical, and through consistent practice, you begin to rewire your mental patterns, creating a new foundation for your reality. The process is not instantaneous, but consistent. Small steps lead to great transformation, and by taking personal responsibility, you are consciously choosing your new reality. Emotional alchemy is a powerful technique for transmuting negative emotions into constructive energy. Instead of seeing your emotions as obstacles, you begin to understand them as powerful forms of energy that you can transform and harness for your personal growth. For example, fear can be transformed into courage, anger into assertiveness, and sadness into compassion. The process involves understanding the energy behind the emotion and then intentionally shifting it into a higher frequency expression. This transformation is not about suppressing your emotions or denying their validity. It is about understanding that emotions are not fixed. They are a form of energy that can be transmuted and redirected. When you feel fear, instead of reacting impulsively, you consciously choose to understand the source of the fear, and then you shift your perspective towards courage. When you feel anger, instead of reacting aggressively, you understand the root of the anger and transform the energy into assertive action. When you feel sadness, instead of falling into despair, you allow yourself to feel it and transform it into compassion for yourself and others. By actively engaging with the transmutation of emotions, you gain mastery over your own energy and you step outside the reactive patterns and you choose to be the master of your emotional state. Visualization and mental imagery are powerful tools for creating your desired reality by using the power of your imagination to imprint new patterns into your subconscious mind. This practice is not simply daydreaming, it's a focused process of consciously creating mental images of your desired outcomes. When these mental images are combined with positive emotions and strong intentions, they become powerful blueprints for your future. For example, instead of simply thinking about a goal, you visualize it in great detail, as if it has already happened, and then you connect to the feeling of success. This process of visualization is not just a passive exercise. It's an active engagement in the process of conscious creation, where you combine all your mental and emotional powers to shape your desired reality. Your subconscious mind accepts what you repeatedly impress upon it, and this is why focused visualization, when aligned with emotion and intention, creates powerful transformations. Therefore, your imagination is not a space of fantasy. It is a powerful tool for creating the reality you wish to experience. Conscious breathing is the bridge that connects your internal world to the present moment. The Archons seek to keep you trapped in the past and anxious about the future, but conscious breathing brings you directly to the now, the only space where you can truly make an impact. Conscious breathing is not just about relaxation. It's a powerful tool for regulating emotions, aligning intention, and shifting states of awareness. For example, simple breathing exercises like the 478 technique can immediately calm your nervous system and allow you to respond to situations with a greater sense of clarity. When you focus on your breath, you become more present and aware, which strengthens your ability to make conscious choices. Conscious breathing is not just a practice to implement during moments of stress. It's a tool to use constantly throughout your daily life to access your inner power. By connecting to your breath, you reconnect to the very source of life, and you move away from unconscious reactions and into conscious responses, aligning with the power of the present moment. Understanding the mechanics of manifestation is essential to break free from the Archons' limited reality and to consciously create your own. Manifestation is not a mysterious process, but the natural result of aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with a desired outcome. And when all of these are in alignment, you step out of the wishful thinking and into the powerful state of conscious creation. Your intention is the driving force that determines the focus of your energy, and when combined with a strong belief in your own creative potential, you activate the manifestation process. Visualization, which we previously explored, creates the blueprint that your mind uses to shape reality, and when all these elements work together, the results are immediate. However, the alignment of these elements requires a conscious effort. It's not simply thinking about a desired outcome. It's about embodying the feeling of your desired outcome in the present moment. This is not a passive process. It's an active engagement with the creative forces of the universe, and by understanding the dynamics, you become a conscious creator, moving beyond the illusion of powerlessness. Practicing gratitude and appreciation are the fundamental tools for shifting your energetic state and attracting more positive experiences into your life. Gratitude creates an abundance mindset that shifts your focus away from what you lack and toward what you already possess. This is not just an attitude, it's a shift in your vibrational frequency, which is a powerful magnet for positive outcomes. When you're grateful for the present moment, you shift your focus away from the limitations of the past or the worries of the future, and this gratitude creates a powerful vibration that amplifies your ability to manifest your desires. This practice goes beyond simply saying, "Thank you." It's a conscious process of appreciating the abundance that already exists in your life, from the small moments to the big blessings, and by focusing on the good you attract more positive experiences. By making gratitude a daily habit, you shift your perception of reality and you align with a more abundant timeline, demonstrating that by being grateful you create the future from the present, thus reinforcing the ability to control your own reality. The understanding of timelines and the power of choice helps you to align yourself with the most positive outcomes. Reality is not a fixed path, but a dynamic tapestry of possibilities that constantly branch out based on the choices you make in the present. Every decision you make creates a new timeline, so instead of being passively swept along by circumstance, you can actively choose the timeline that best aligns with your intentions. When you understand that the choices you make in the present are what determine your future, you begin to approach reality in a new way, knowing that you are the conscious creator of your personal timeline. By choosing thoughts, emotions, and actions that align with your highest potential, you step into timelines where those positive outcomes are already a reality, not just a distant possibility, and this understanding liberates you from the belief in linear time and allows you to navigate the ever-changing landscape of possibilities with greater power and awareness. Demonstrating that reality is not static, but it's constantly being created by your choices. Reality transurfing is a method for consciously navigating these different layers of reality and choosing your desired outcome, and it's more than affirmations or manifestation techniques. It is a deep understanding of the dynamics of reality. It teaches you how to glide between timelines and to choose which ones you wish to experience. The focus is not on struggling to change reality, but on choosing to align with the timeline where your desires are already a reality. By understanding how to manage your energy and intention, you can navigate the different layers of reality and choose experiences that resonate with your true values. This technique is not just about positive thinking. It's about understanding that reality is a multidimensional landscape of possibilities, and that you have the power to shift your focus and energy to the timeline you wish to experience. Therefore, reality transurfing is not an exercise of willpower, but an active engagement with the mechanics of reality, demonstrating that through intention and awareness, you can choose a more empowering experience. The integration of this knowledge into your daily life is a continuous process that requires consistent effort and patience. This is not an overnight transformation. It is a journey of self-discovery that involves daily practice and a commitment to personal growth. By making these techniques a regular part of your life, you begin to create lasting change in your mental, emotional, and physical reality, moving from the realm of theory into a life lived with purpose. Small, consistent actions, when aligned with clear intention, create transformative shifts over time, and by choosing to be patient with yourself, you honor the process of growth that will lead to your liberation. The techniques that we have explored are not merely tools, they are also pathways that take you from a state of limitation to a state of conscious creation, so be gentle with yourself and celebrate each step of this journey. Therefore, transformation is not an isolated event, but an ongoing process of consistent action and personal responsibility. Your personal transformation is not an isolated journey. It is part of a larger collective awakening, because every positive change you make has a ripple effect that impacts the entire human consciousness. When you heal your wounds and align with your highest potential, you create an energetic resonance that inspires others to do the same. Therefore, the journey of personal transformation is also an act of collective service, because your liberation contributes to the liberation of humanity, and the more individuals who choose this path, the faster we move toward a more balanced and conscious reality. The collective is the sum of the individuals, therefore, by actively choosing a higher state of being, you contribute to the upliftment of all, demonstrating that personal liberation and collective awakening are inextricably linked. Service and contribution are essential components of personal fulfillment, because true power is not about domination, but about lifting others. When you are in alignment with your highest potential, you are not focused on the limitations of the ego, but on the expansion of your heart, and you understand that true power lies in your ability to contribute to the collective good. This is why service, when done with pure intention, is a powerful transformative tool for healing and growth, and it amplifies your personal vibration, creating even more positive outcomes in your life and the lives of those around you. The path of personal growth is incomplete without the intention of serving others, because your transformation is not meant to be a solitary journey, but an act of love and compassion for all humanity. Therefore, understanding and applying this knowledge is a journey of continuous transformation, where you are no longer a victim, but a conscious creator of your reality. You now have the tools and the understanding to break free from the Archons matrix and step into a new dimension of personal power. This is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a new level of awareness and empowerment, where you reclaim your true potential and become the sovereign ruler of your own destiny. The Archons' power depends on your belief in your own powerlessness, but by embracing the principles of personal responsibility and conscious creation, you step into your true potential, and nothing can limit you any longer. Are you ready to take this step? The Archons' web of deception extends far beyond the physical and political, weaving its way into the very fabric of spiritual concepts and systems, and in this way they have infiltrated and corrupted the search for truth. They do not merely control through force and coercion, but through subtle manipulation of the human desire for meaning and transcendence. They distort spiritual teachings, creating false hierarchies and dependencies that place individuals under the control of external authorities, instead of fostering interconnection and freedom. Many religions that began with profound insights about the nature of reality were twisted and manipulated to instill fear, guilt, and obedience, thus diverting the path to true spiritual awakening. Consider, for instance, how the concept of divine judgment has been used to instill a constant state of fear of punishment, or how the idea of an intermediary between the divine and the individual creates dependency on external structures that promise to deliver salvation. Even the concept of karma has been twisted, presenting it as an inescapable debt that can only be settled through a process controlled by religious institutions. These are all tools to divert the search for inner connection into systems of fear and control, making them believe that power is outside of themselves. The Archons' control is so insidious that it extends to that which many believe is beyond their reach, which is exactly how they keep control. The Archons also manipulate the very language and symbols through which we understand the world. They know that words are not neutral, they are carriers of energy and meaning, and by controlling the meaning of words, they can control thought itself. Through specific connotations, and by creating symbols with hidden meanings, they are able to shape our perception of reality. Consider how certain words like terrorism or freedom can be used to create fear or division, and how symbols such as flags or religious icons can unconsciously influence behavior or create a sense of false unity. Even the very definition of words like success or happiness are carefully crafted to keep the individual dependent on the systems they have created, always looking for something external. The news is crafted to create fear and separation, and the entertainment industry is designed to keep your consciousness in a lower vibrational state, thus reinforcing the patterns of control, keeping the individual distracted from their inner potential. This subtle control of language and symbols is how the Archons maintain their influence over the individual's internal landscape, influencing thoughts and actions at a very basic level, often without conscious awareness. This manipulation of external language subtly controls internal thought patterns, limiting understanding and reinforcing control, always keeping the individual in a state of fear and reactivity. The Archons create and perpetuate scarcity consciousness as a primary tool for maintaining their power and influence. By convincing individuals that there is not enough resources, not enough opportunities, not enough time, they create a state of competition, fear, and lack. This scarcity mindset distracts people from their own inner powers of creation, and by keeping people focused on the struggle for survival, they divert attention from personal growth. This distorted view of reality is reinforced through media narratives that highlight economic instability, political conflict, and the idea that we are all competing for limited resources. Educational systems are designed to produce compliant workers who accept the scarcity mentality instead of individuals who can create their own realities, and economic systems are designed to create dependency on material possessions, making people believe that their value is connected to what they own. This is why the pursuit of material wealth becomes an insatiable loop, and the Archons benefit greatly from this constant state of fear and lack. Scarcity creates a sense of dependence on external systems, and the understanding that abundance is always available is the key to freedom, and by understanding this, you break free from this self-imposed prison. The Archons create loops of control by using the individual's own emotional responses against them, and they exploit the human tendency toward addictive behaviors. Emotional dependency is easy to manipulate by triggering specific emotional responses, and this creates a feedback loop of control that further reinforces the matrix. For example, social media platforms use algorithms that are specifically designed to trigger dopamine releases, creating an addictive cycle that keeps users constantly engaged and therefore easily manipulated. Consumerism relies on the use of advertising and marketing strategies that are specifically designed to trigger emotional needs, creating a loop of desire, lack, and consumption. Even certain types of relationships are structured in ways that create emotional dependencies, which then allow for the manipulation of behavior. These loops of control create patterns of reactivity that keep the individual dependent on external validation, thus reinforcing the Archons matrix. However, by understanding these mechanics, you can regain power by becoming aware of your emotional responses and breaking the patterns of reactivity that the Archons have created. This is an essential step to emotional mastery and the path to freedom. To break free from these insidious control systems, it is not enough to simply be aware of them, but instead, it is imperative to engage in active noncompliance as a powerful act of resistance. This means consciously choosing not to participate in the systems that perpetuate the Archons' control. This is the next step in the journey towards freedom, actively choosing which systems to engage with and consciously creating your own rules instead of passively accepting those imposed upon you. Instead of reacting to the fear-based messages in the news, you can consciously choose to limit your exposure and seek alternative sources of information, actively choosing your own perspective. Instead of blindly following societal norms, you can choose to define success and happiness on your own terms, aligning with your internal values and intentions. By actively choosing which forms of media to engage with and which social interactions to participate in, you begin to reclaim your sovereignty and reduce your exposure to archontic manipulation. Active noncompliance is not about isolation, but about creating your own pathway with purpose and intention. Consciously choosing your own reality also requires a clear understanding of your own values and using focused intention to create desired outcomes instead of acting from unconscious reactions. This goes beyond simply stating what you want. It is about aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, creating a coherent, energetic force that shapes your reality. Begin by identifying your core values. What truly matters to you? What do you wish to see in the world? Then consciously align your intentions with these values by focusing your attention and energy on what you wish to create instead of what you wish to avoid. For instance, if your value is freedom, you can focus your intention on creating opportunities for personal and financial independence. If your value is love, you can focus your intention on building relationships based on compassion and understanding. By aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your core values, you become a conscious creator, and the power of manifestation becomes a natural result of your alignment, demonstrating that this is not just a set of techniques, but a way of living. The power of community and conscious collaboration is a key component of creating a more empowered reality. Individual intention is a powerful force, but collective action amplifies the effect, creating a synergy that can shift the collective consciousness. When individuals come together, united by shared values and intentions, they create a network of support and growth. And when you connect with like-minded people, you create a collective momentum that can manifest your vision with greater ease. This collaboration can create new systems, new forms of social engagement, and can also create new narratives that challenge the control structure of the Archons. For example, communities based on sustainability, cooperation, and mutual support act as alternative structures that create a different reality. This network of support is not only a practical way to amplify your intentions, but also a powerful reminder that we are not alone in this journey, and that we are all interconnected in this collective endeavor, and therefore your actions influence those around you. Creating your own reality is a direct challenge to the Archons' control matrix, and when you understand that you are a conscious creator, you step out of the illusion of control and into the realm of infinite possibility. This is not an easy path. It requires commitment and consistent effort, but it's a path that leads to true freedom. The Archons thrive on the illusion of separation and powerlessness, but the understanding of conscious creation reveals that power is always within, and that reality is not something that happens to you, but something that you create. By understanding your role as the creator of your experience, you step out of the victim mindset and you become empowered to choose your path. Every choice is a step toward freedom, and every new action is an affirmation of your power. This creates a constant movement forward into new possibilities that were not visible within the matrix of control, demonstrating that the power is always with the individual. Now let us explore the more advanced techniques for manipulating your personal energy fields as a method of shifting into desired timelines and creating new realities. This is not merely a theory, it is a practical method for changing your experience by aligning your vibrational state with a different possibility. The principle of energy resonance states that when two systems vibrate at the same frequency, they influence each other. By aligning your personal energy field with the vibrational frequency of your desired reality, you can shift your experience into that timeline. For example, by using visualization techniques, and by feeling the emotions associated with the reality you wish to experience, you begin to shift your energetic field and align with that timeline. By adding emotional coherence, you amplify the effect, moving beyond a wishful thought into a lived reality. This ability to consciously shift your energetic state and to align with a desired future moves you into the role of conscious creator of your personal reality. You can also accelerate the manifestation process, collapsing time through focused intention and emotional mastery, understanding that the present moment is the only point of creation. When you are fully present, with your attention and intention focused on a desired outcome, the perception of time starts to change, and aligning with the chosen timeline makes it manifest quicker, collapsing the linear construct of time. For example, when you meditate on a desired outcome, and you feel the emotions associated with the outcome as if it has already manifested, you accelerate the timeline, as if you are collapsing the time needed for the external circumstances to match the internal state of coherence. This power of the present moment transforms you from a passive observer into an active creator, making the future not a distant possibility, but a present reality. Your alignment with the present moment has the power to collapse the need for linear time and to accelerate the manifestation of your desires. By understanding that reality is not fixed, but an infinite number of possibilities, you can consciously access parallel realities through focused awareness and intention. Each timeline represents a different possibility, and when you understand that you can align with any of them, you can begin to navigate your experience consciously, and you are no longer bound by the limitations of the current timeline. By shifting your perception and awareness, you can access alternative possibilities and choose to inhabit the timeline that is aligned with your highest potential. And by combining your intention and your focus, you actively choose your personal experience. For instance, if you feel limited by your current financial situation, you can consciously shift your awareness to the timeline where you are already living in abundance. The importance lies in aligning with a chosen timeline with intention and consistency. This understanding frees you from the chains of perceived limitations and puts the power of choice back in your hands, allowing you to navigate through infinite possibilities. These advanced techniques are a way of breaking free from archontic control, and by mastering the manipulation of your own frequency and the dynamics of time, you step out of the limited matrix and into a reality of infinite possibilities. This is not just a path to personal freedom, but a path to collective liberation, as each individual who steps out of the matrix provides a pathway for others to do the same. By mastering these techniques, you take a step beyond the Archon's sphere of influence, and you not only create a more fulfilling experience for yourself, but you contribute to the uplifting of the entire human consciousness. The more individuals that awaken to this power, the more the Archon's control begins to crumble, thus connecting individual growth with collective freedom. The synthesis of all this knowledge demonstrates that the understanding of the Archon's tactics, the activation of your consciousness, and the mastery of reality creation techniques are all part of the same process of personal sovereignty. True personal sovereignty is not only a possibility, it is an imperative for creating a better reality for yourself and for all. When you connect all the concepts explored, you will see a coherent pathway for liberation, and you will understand that the journey to freedom is not an isolated one, but a journey of personal growth and a commitment to creating a better reality. Therefore, it is your responsibility to integrate this knowledge into your daily life and start using it as a tool to actively create the world you want to live in, starting now. The journey toward lasting transformation is not a one-time event, but it requires daily practice and consistent effort. It is the continuous commitment to personal growth that creates a lasting change in your life, and that moves you from the realm of theoretical understanding into the realm of practical application. Even small actions, when done consistently, are more powerful than sporadic grand gestures, and therefore you need to commit to daily actions that reinforce the reality you wish to experience. By integrating these practices into your daily life, you begin to rewire your mental and emotional patterns and create a new foundation for your reality, allowing this to become your new default state. Therefore, consistency is key, and commitment is the foundation of personal growth. The power to change reality lies within you, and it has always been there, waiting for you to awaken to its potential. This power is not based on external circumstances, it's based on internal transformation and the understanding of the forces that govern reality. The Archons thrive on your belief in your own powerlessness, but by embracing the understanding of your own creative potential, you step into your true role as the creator of your personal experience. The techniques and the principles we have explored are not just abstract concepts. They are practical tools that you can use to transform your life, and once you understand this, nothing can hold you back. You are now equipped with the knowledge, the tools, and the understanding to step out of the Archons matrix and into a new reality of freedom and conscious creation. This is a powerful invitation into a new way of living, where you are no longer a passive observer, but a conscious co-creator. The time to act is now, because the power has always been within you, and the key is now in your hand, and the rest is up to you. The Archons' manipulation extends to the very fabric of time itself, trapping humanity in a relentless cycle of past regrets and future anxieties. They have imposed a linear perception of time, where the past is a source of pain and the future a source of fear, and in doing so, they have effectively obscured the present moment, which is the only true point of power and creation. This illusion of linear time keeps the mind oscillating between what was and what might be, thereby limiting the ability to harness the immense creative potential that exists only in the now. Have you ever noticed how often your mind drifts to the past, replaying old wounds, or jumps to the future, anticipating potential problems? This is not accidental. It is a carefully crafted mechanism designed to keep your energy scattered and your awareness away from the present. Cultural narratives reinforce this by constantly focusing on historical events or future predictions, perpetuating this sense of temporal displacement. The concept of past and future are carefully curated to create a sense of separation, creating a barrier to accessing the power of the present, and in doing so, limiting the ability to consciously shape your reality. When you are always thinking of what was or what will be, you are not creating, you are reacting. Therefore, accessing the power of the present through focused intention is the key to breaking free from this temporal prison, because the present moment is the only point of power. The Archons also manipulate the very energy fields that permeate reality, creating states of fear, lack, and separation, designed to weaken your vital force and limit your access to your creative potential. Negative emotions like fear and anxiety, amplified by constant exposure to negative narratives, disrupt the natural flow of your energy, creating blockages that can manifest as physical and mental imbalances. This manipulation is not just a matter of feelings, but a calculated strategy to keep you in a state of low vibrational energy. Think about how often you feel tired, anxious, or ill without any apparent reason. These are often the manifestations of energy blockages created by these external influences. These energetic imbalances manifest through fatigue, anxiety, and chronic illness. By becoming aware of your emotional responses and utilizing conscious breathing techniques, as we have explored before, you can begin to create a more balanced and harmonious energy field, disrupting the Archons' control. Remember that emotional mastery is the key to controlling your energy, and by controlling your energy, you control your experience, thus breaking the patterns imposed by external forces. Therefore, the consistent application of these simple techniques can create a major shift in your personal energetic landscape. Furthermore, the Archons introduce artificial substitutes for true vital energy, creating a system of dependence and control, and masking true fulfillment with fleeting pleasures. This artificial energy is designed to mimic genuine satisfaction, trapping individuals in a cycle of addiction and dependence. Modern technology, consumerism, and processed foods, for instance, all act as substitutes for genuine experiences and true sources of nourishment. How many hours do you spend consuming artificial content, buying things you do not need, or eating food that has no nutritional value? These are not just random choices, they are designed to create a system of false needs, keeping you trapped in a loop of desire and dissatisfaction. The constant pursuit of external gratification becomes a distraction from inner fulfillment, creating a never-ending cycle of craving and consumption. Breaking free from these patterns requires awareness, discipline, and a conscious choice to seek true sources of energy and fulfillment, and by shifting away from the artificial and into the authentic, you will break free from this manipulated system. Therefore, true satisfaction will never be found in external gratification. It can only be found within. The Archons use frequency manipulation to suppress higher levels of consciousness, bombarding you with disharmonious frequencies that limit access to your intuition and inner wisdom. They carefully control the vibrational environment around you, creating a mental fog that makes it difficult to perceive the subtler energies that govern reality. This frequency manipulation is not always obvious, as it occurs through various channels such as media, certain sound patterns, and constant exposure to technology. Have you ever felt overwhelmed after a long day using technology or after watching the news? This is often the effect of these frequencies, designed to keep your consciousness in a state of lower vibration. By creating this constant disharmony, the Archons prevent you from accessing the higher realms of awareness, your intuition, and inner wisdom. However, by understanding the power of focused intention and conscious energy work, you can counteract these effects, creating a more harmonious environment within yourself. By tuning into your inner guidance, you can rise above the noise and reclaim your ability to perceive a higher reality, and in doing so you can find your way out of the Archons' manipulation. However, there is a way out, and it begins by accessing what we will call higher consciousness, a state of being where you can perceive and interact with reality beyond archontic manipulation. This higher level of consciousness opens you up to new levels of understanding and awareness, granting you the clarity and discernment to break free from these hidden control mechanisms. This is not a passive process. It requires conscious effort and a commitment to personal growth. Techniques such as meditation, focused intention, and visualization can help you activate this higher consciousness, expanding your awareness beyond the limitations of the physical world and the manipulated mental constructs. By consistently working on raising your vibration, you begin to perceive the world differently, moving past the veil of illusion, and as your awareness expands, so does your freedom. This shift in perception is the foundation for transcending the Archons' influence, and it is the first step towards true personal liberation. By consistently engaging in these practices, you will begin to navigate reality with clarity and empowerment. Your intuition and inner knowing become essential guides for navigating beyond the matrix of control. These inner senses provide a direct connection to your authentic self, granting access to truths that are beyond the reach of manipulation and propaganda. Learning to listen to your inner voice is essential to navigating the constant barrage of external information designed to confuse you. By regularly engaging in self-reflection, journaling, and spending time in nature, you can cultivate your intuition, thus becoming more attuned to your inner guidance. This inner knowing will act as your compass, helping you navigate beyond the false narratives and artificial realities created by the Archons. Trusting your intuition becomes a powerful act of self-sovereignty and a way to access a deeper wisdom that exists within you, and by honoring your inner guidance, you will always find your way, regardless of the external influences. This connection with your inner voice will become your personal compass towards your true purpose. Discernment, combined with this inner knowing, is a powerful tool for navigating the layers of deception that the Archons have created. This ability to think critically, to question assumptions, and to challenge accepted realities is absolutely essential in the process of liberation. This means actively questioning the information you are receiving and recognizing patterns of manipulation in media and in the information you consume daily. Do not accept any information passively. Instead, seek alternative perspectives and analyze the underlying intentions of the messages you receive. By consciously choosing what information to accept and by recognizing manipulative patterns, you begin to dismantle the control structure of the Archons. Therefore, critical thinking is not just an intellectual exercise. It is an act of resistance and a demonstration of your personal sovereignty, and by using your critical mind, you are actively participating in the dismantling of the systems that seek to control you. Clarity comes from combining inner guidance with an analytical mind. The power of focused intention, combined with higher consciousness and intuition, is the master key to transcending the limits of linear time and creating your desired reality. Intention is the force that shapes your world, and when it is combined with a higher state of awareness and intuition, it becomes a powerful tool for liberation. It is not enough to simply wish for something. It requires focused attention and the conscious direction of your energy, and this process is amplified when your intention is aligned with your higher self. This focused intention becomes a powerful force to bring into existence what you desire. By using techniques such as visualization and affirmations, you are intentionally directing your energy toward your chosen future, creating a different timeline, and by adding the power of your emotions, you fuel this creative process with a higher level of intensity. Thus, your focused intention becomes the driving force to create the reality you desire. Now let us explore the concept of timeline jumping, a method for consciously shifting your focus and intention into a reality that is aligned with your desires. This is not about wishful thinking, it is about consciously choosing a different possibility and aligning your entire being with it, thus creating a different experience. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of your own timeline, and by understanding this power, you can start to navigate through infinite possibilities. Begin by identifying the specific timeline that you want to experience and focus on that reality with clarity and emotion. Use visualization techniques to see yourself already living in that timeline and feel the emotions that are associated with that experience as if it were your current reality. Then consciously choose to align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with it. This deliberate act of shifting your attention to a different possibility begins to create a momentum, and your current timeline begins to shift to match your inner vision, demonstrating that you are in control of your own reality. Therefore, conscious intention moves you through various possibilities and into your chosen timeline. Emotional coherence plays a crucial role in amplifying the power of timeline jumping, and by understanding that emotions act as the fuel for the creative process, you will use them with intention. When you combine your intention with positive and coherent emotions like joy, gratitude, and love, you create a powerful energetic force that accelerates the manifestation of your chosen timeline. Your emotional state is not just a feeling, it is a vibrational frequency that is creating your reality, and by aligning your emotions with your intentions, you amplify the manifestation of the desired reality. Start by cultivating positive emotions and use them as a way to consciously move into the timeline that you desire. When your intention is infused with positive emotions, you accelerate the timeline of creation, and you move through various possible realities with speed and clarity. Therefore, emotional coherence is not just a positive feeling, but the fuel of conscious creation. Reality creation is not just about passive wishing, but about conscious action and personal responsibility. And when you combine your intention and your emotions with aligned action, you create a cohesive force that shapes the world around you. The Archons would have you believe that you are powerless, but by understanding that you are the creator of your experience, you step into your power and you start to actively shape your future. By aligning your intention, your emotions, and your actions, you begin to create a reality that is aligned with your deepest desires and your true potential, creating a momentum that moves you toward the future you wish to experience. By understanding this principle, you understand that you are not a victim, but a powerful creator, and that this responsibility is both an opportunity and a key to freedom. Therefore, your actions are not just random, they are the bridge between intention and manifestation. By applying these techniques, you not only break free from the Archon's control, but you also step into the role of conscious creator, and you become the active force behind your destiny. This is the ultimate expression of personal sovereignty, moving from being a victim of circumstances to being the master of your own experience. The limitations imposed by the Archons are only illusions, and by understanding how reality works, and by using your mind, your emotions, and your actions with intention, you begin to experience a world of limitless possibilities. This is your journey of liberation, and by understanding this, you are no longer bound by the old paradigms, and instead you begin to create your own reality with clarity and power. The path to freedom is in your hands, and every conscious choice moves you forward in the journey of liberation. The concepts we have explored form a cohesive path to personal sovereignty, and they are all interconnected and require consistent application for true and lasting transformation. True liberation is not a passive state. It's a journey that requires commitment, focus, and continuous effort. By connecting the different concepts of archontic control, consciousness, manifestation, and timeline jumping, you will begin to understand how they create a clear path to personal freedom. These tools are not just abstract ideas. They are practical methods to be used daily, and they all work in a cohesive manner to support your transformation and liberation. Therefore, lasting transformation requires not only understanding, but also daily application of these principles. Understanding the true nature of reality is the key to breaking free from the illusions of the Archons, and this knowledge is not simply intellectual. It's also experiential, requiring constant self-reflection and direct engagement. The various layers of reality that we have discussed require you to go beyond simple understanding. You must use this knowledge as a lens through which to view your experience. This constant examination of your thoughts, emotions, and actions will reveal deeper patterns that were not visible before. And as you practice this self-reflection, you will see that the reality you experience is a direct result of your internal state. Therefore, awareness is not a passive state, but an active process that requires your full participation. By aligning your personal intentions with higher cosmic principles, you participate in a greater collective awakening. Your journey of individual transformation is not isolated. It's part of a greater movement of consciousness that is expanding throughout the universe. As you consciously change your personal experience, you also contribute to the upliftment of the collective, and your decisions and actions contribute to a more positive reality for all. This understanding gives a higher meaning to your personal journey and reminds you that you are not just an individual, but also a part of a greater whole. Therefore, personal growth is always linked to the well-being of all. Now you have the knowledge, the tools, and the understanding to step out of the Archons matrix and into a new reality of freedom and conscious creation. This understanding moves you beyond the old ways of thinking and into a new understanding of reality. Liberation is not a distant possibility. It is a present choice that is awaiting your decision. By using the knowledge we have shared, you become the active force in creating a new world where you are not limited by old patterns, but instead you are empowered to move into the future you desire. Therefore, now it is time to act, because the power has always been within you, and it is up to you to use it consciously. The Archons are not merely external entities lurking in the shadows. They are the embodiment of your own limiting beliefs, the very fears that constrict your potential, and the control mechanisms that keep you tethered to old patterns. Their true power is not in force, but in deception, in their ability to make you believe that your limitations are a result of external circumstances and not an echo of your own internal state. By recognizing them both within and without, you take the first step toward reclaiming your sovereignty, seeing that their influence is maintained through the manipulation of your internal world, allowing you to take power over these once invisible forces. Their strategies, once shrouded in mystery, are revealed, and with this knowledge, you become immune to their tactics. This shift in perspective is the turning point, enabling you to dismantle the power they held over you, and showing that the answer to the question of whether your life is your own is found in the ability to control your internal states. The pattern of control versus freedom culminates in the understanding that freedom is not a gift bestowed by external forces, but a state achieved through dedicated inner work and the mastery of your own consciousness. The journey has been about understanding that liberation comes not from changing the world, but from transforming yourself, and recognizing that the external world is merely a mirror reflecting your inner state. The control systems imposed by the Archons are revealed as nothing more than a reflection of internal limitations, showing that by mastering your thoughts, emotions, and energy, you naturally dismantle the chains of perceived enslavement. Therefore, the practices explored within this journey are not just tools. They are the keys to unlock the doors of freedom, demonstrating that liberation is a direct result of understanding your own power. The power to reshape your reality resides not in seeking external change, but in mastering your own consciousness, and by understanding this fundamental truth, you gain the ability to directly influence the world around you. This is not a passive process, but a deliberate act of conscious creation, demanding that you take full responsibility for your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, understanding that they are the building blocks of your experience. The journey has been about revealing that these are not just random occurrences, but the mechanisms through which you are creating your reality, and with this awareness, you shift from feeling victimized by circumstances to understanding that you are the architect of your own destiny. You are the active agent of transformation, capable of shaping your experience. Your perspective has now been transformed from a place of powerlessness, where you were at the mercy of invisible forces, into a place of empowerment where you stand as a conscious creator, understanding the mechanisms that shaped your perceived reality. You now wield the knowledge, the tools, and the understanding to become an active participant in your own journey and to live a life that transcends limitations. This is a shift of perspective that opens a new chapter of infinite possibilities, where your destiny is no longer dictated by hidden mechanisms, but is instead shaped by your choices and your intentions. With these new tools, you step into the role of conscious creator, prepared to live a life that is beyond the constraints of the old paradigms. Personal transformation is not an isolated journey. It is a contribution to the collective awakening of consciousness, and by focusing on your own growth, you are actively participating in the evolution of humanity. Individual freedom is inextricably linked to the freedom of the collective, because every act of self-mastery creates a ripple effect that extends throughout the entire interconnected web of existence, thus raising the vibration of the whole. This expands the understanding beyond the personal, creating a sense of interconnectedness, because your personal freedom empowers others. The implications of your choices now extend beyond your own life, highlighting the ethical and spiritual importance of your transformation. The control versus freedom pattern now provides a way to recognize the chains of external manipulation, offering methods to break the cycles of limiting beliefs and moving from states of dependency towards states of personal sovereignty. The internal versus external pattern demonstrates that any outer change is always preceded by an inner transformation, reflecting the power that you hold in shaping your experience. The journey has been a process of peeling back layers of illusion, similar to the layers of an onion, to reveal the core truth that lies beneath all the surface-level perceptions. Now you are able to see the underlying principles, recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. This knowledge has given you the map to navigate the complexities of reality with a clear path to empowerment. Breaking free from archontic control unlocks a life of purpose, joy, and limitless possibilities. The potential for creativity, growth, and expansion is now available to you. Once you are aligned with your own power, you can create a reality that reflects your deepest desires, a reality where you are no longer limited by imposed patterns, but are instead empowered to bring your vision to life. And this freedom is not just a concept, but a living experience that awaits you. This transformation has given you access to an unlimited life of joy and abundance, and that is now within your reach. This knowledge empowers you to build a new world. You have moved from a state of unawareness into a state of empowerment, now equipped with the knowledge to navigate your reality with intention. You are now equipped with tools to actively participate in your journey, creating a new chapter of possibilities that is open for you to explore. The path is laid before you, inviting you to explore the unlimited potential within you. The key is to begin the journey, to act on the knowledge you have acquired, and to embrace the new empowered self. Your transformation is a testament to your own power and potential. The journey, from understanding the nature of the Archons' influence to activating your own consciousness and learning how to manifest your own reality, has now come full circle. It is a journey that begins with awareness and culminates with conscious creation, and this understanding has equipped you with a new way to interact with the world around you. The path has been a series of discoveries that build on one another, showing that the journey is a consistent and progressive unfolding towards liberation. The patterns have come full circle, creating a cohesive picture. These steps have shown how to actively create your own experience. The control versus freedom pattern has shown how to consciously choose your own reality, thus breaking free from old systems of manipulation. The internal versus external pattern has shown you how to achieve inner mastery, transforming your inner world, which will then be mirrored by the world around you. The patterns have provided a roadmap that leads towards power and freedom, and by actively using them, you can navigate the complexities of life. These patterns become a way to understand and interact with all of the infinite possibilities available. The initial question of whether your life is truly your own has been answered by revealing the mechanisms of control, and then the path to reclaiming your autonomy. The question about whether there is a hidden power at play has been answered by showing how these forces can be recognized and transcended through conscious effort. These answers bring closure and provide resolution to the tensions that were presented at the beginning of this journey, completing the initial hook that drew you into this exploration. Your autonomy is now clear, and the hidden mechanisms revealed. The tension you felt is now transformed into a powerful call to action, inviting you to step into your role as a conscious creator. You now possess the capacity to create a new reality based on your own desires, and any feelings of helplessness can be transformed into active power. This is not a theoretical possibility, but a practical method to create lasting change, and with this newfound confidence, you now have the ability to live the life you always envisioned. This is your moment to act with intention, moving away from powerlessness and into the active creation of your new reality. The tension is released, and you are now empowered. How will you now use this knowledge, this understanding, this power? How will you shape your own destiny, and what kind of future will you now create? What actions will you take to bring your deepest desires into reality? These are the questions that will shape the path ahead. Your journey now moves from understanding to application, and it is up to you to choose how to integrate these principles into your daily life. The time for passive observation has passed. Now it is the time for active participation and deliberate creation. The future awaits, and it is yours to create. This is just the beginning of a lifelong journey of self-discovery and empowerment, with a myriad of tools and concepts yet to be explored, inviting you into a continuous process of evolution. More advanced techniques for conscious creation are available, and unlimited possibilities await those who are committed to this path. This understanding is not a destination, but a starting point on a journey of unlimited exploration and expansion. There is more to be discovered, deeper to be explored, and greater realities to experience. Your evolution is an ongoing process with infinite potential for growth. Share your experiences, insights, and questions in the comments below, and connect with others who are on a similar path. Your journey will inspire and empower others, while also providing a sense of community, because by sharing and supporting each other, you accelerate the collective awakening. Join the movement and share the insights you have gained on this path of discovery. Your experience is an invitation for others to begin their own path, thus creating a global movement towards consciousness and freedom. Do not miss the upcoming videos, where we will delve even deeper into the concepts of timeline jumping, energy manipulation, and advanced spiritual practices, as we continue to expand our understanding of conscious creation and personal transformation, inviting you to join us on this journey of exploration. These future topics will expand on what we covered today and will provide advanced tools and information. Your journey continues, and with each step you take, you move closer to realizing your full potential. The next chapter awaits.